everyone, welcome back to my channel The Learnish. Today in this video we will cover acid, bases and salt, which is of class 10th science. This is the second part. First part I have already uploaded, so you can watch that also. Moving further, the topics which we will cover in this video are similarities between all acids and bases, dilution of acid, strength of acid and base, universal indicator, family of salt, and among the family of salts which we will cover acidic, basic and neutral salts, some important chemical compounds, their preparation and uses. So without any delay, let's start. The first topic is similarities between all acids and bases. So all the acids, they have H plus ions in common. So whether it is HCl, H2SO4 or HNO3, they all have H plus ions in them, and when acids are dissolved in water or when they are present in their solution form, they produce H plus ions, and these H plus ions are responsible for the acidic properties. All the bases have OH minus ions in common, and when the bases are in their solution form, OH minus ions are released, which are responsible for the basic properties. So here we get to know that acidic property of the acid is due to the H plus ions, and the basic property of the base is due to the OH minus ions. Here is an example which is of NaOH. When NaOH is present in the aqueous form, Na plus and OH minus ions are released, which give the basic property. Moving further to the dilution of acid. The number of hydrogen ions in an acid per unit volume is called concentration of acid. So what is concentration? Concentration is determined by the number of hydrogen ions which are present per unit volume. Now if we mix water to the acid, then the number of H plus ions per unit volume will decrease. Similarly, by the addition of base to water, the concentration of hydroxide ion per unit volume will decrease. So whether it is acid or whether it is base, if we add water to it, the number of ions, if it is acid, it will be hydrogen ion. If it is base, it will be hydroxide ion. The number of ions per unit volume decreases. Okay, so what is dilution? The process of addition of acid or base to water is called dilution, and when we add water to it, the acid or base is said to be diluted. Moving on to the technique of diluting an acid. How we will dilute an acid? We know that acid can be diluted by adding water, but what is the correct method? Whether water should be added to the acid or acid should be added to the water, that we will get to know here. When acids are diluted, heat energy is released, so it is an exothermic process. So while diluting an acid, always acid or base is added to water with constant stirring. We should always add acid or base to the water. We should never ever add water to the acid or base. Why? Because if we will add water to the acid or base, then enormous amount of heat energy will be released, which will cause splashing out of acid. And if acid will splash out, it will cause severe damage, because concentrated acid and base, they are very corrosive in nature. They can damage your skin. Moving further to the strength of acid and base. According to the strength, see, strength is determined by the concentration of the H plus ion. Okay, so according to that, acids are divided into two types: strong acid and weak acid. Strong acids are those in which complete dissociation of hydrogen ion take place. Example in HCl and H2SO4. If HCl is added to the water, all the HCl molecules which are present in that water, they all will dissociate and H plus and they will release H plus ion. So they are strong acid. Weak acids are those in which incomplete dissociation of hydrogen ion take place. Incomplete means, like here is an example of acetic acid. If we will add acetic acid in water, all the molecules of acetic acid will not get dissociated. They all will not form H plus ion. Okay, so few molecules will dissociate and form H plus ion, and few molecule will not dissociate. So therefore it is categorized as weak acids. Strength of base. According to the strength of base, they are also divided into strong base and weak base. Strong bases are those in which complete dissociation of hydroxide ion take place, like in NaOH and KOH. Here is also the same thing. All the molecules of NaOH will dissociate and form OH minus ion. So it is complete dissociation. Therefore it is categorized as strong bases. Weak bases are those in which incomplete dissociation of hydroxide ion take place, like in ammonium hydroxide. All the molecules of ammonium hydroxide will not release OH minus ion. So that is the incomplete dissociation and it is categorized as weak base. Moving further to the universal indicators. Universal indicators are the mixture of several indicators. See, indicators we have studied. You know that indicators are those substances which help us to identify that whether the particular substance is acid or base. But universal indicator, it helps us in identifying the acid or base as well as the strength of acid or base, how much acidic or how much basic, whether it is a strong acid or weak acid, strong base or weak base, that is identified using universal indicator. Now, universal indicator shows different colors at different hydrogen ion in solution. So, it shows different colors. It will produce different colors depending on the number of hydrogen ion present in the solution. Now that it will produce only color. Now you have to match that color. You have to know that this particular color indicates the strong acid or that particular color indicates the weak acid. So how we will identify? For that a scale is developed. That scale is called pH scale. So a scale for measuring H plus concentration in solution is called pH scale, and it is a simple number which indicate the acidic or basic nature of the solution. So you can see here, this is a pH scale. Different colors are there. It is from 0 to 14. 7 is the neutral, and the number from 0 to 7 indicate the acidic nature, and 7 to 14 indicate the basic nature. If we are testing a particular acid and it shows this red color, so it will be in 0 category. It means it is strong acid. So as we will move down, that is from 0 to 7, it will show that the strength of the acid will keep on decreasing. So 0 or 1 indicate the strong acid, then it will move further to the weaker acid. Now 8 and 9 will show 8, 9, 10, it will show weak base. 14 is the strongest base. Okay, so this is the pH scale, and here we can identify whether it is strong acid or weak acid, strong base or weak base. For water or neutral solution means a substance which is neither acidic nor basic. Like water is neither acidic nor basic. So for that pH is 7. For acidic solution, pH is less than 7. Less than 7, that is from 0 to 6. For basic solution, pH is greater than 7, means 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to 14. Now this diagram here shows the variation of pH with the change in the concentration of H plus and OH minus ion. See, H plus ion here is maximum and here is less. So acidic nature is increasing while going from 7 to 0. The acidic nature increases. It means the number 0 or the number 1 will be the most acidic. Here you can see the OH. This blue color shows the H plus ion, and this white color shows the OH minus ion. OH minus ion here is less, and here as we go it increases, and number here is 14. It shows that the 14 number shows the strongest the strongest base. Okay. Now moving further to the salts. What are salt? When acid and base neutralize each other, when they both mix together and neutralize each other's effect, salts are formed. Okay, you remember this, there is a reaction between HCl and NaOH in which salt, that is NaCl, and water is produced. There are three types of salt: neutral salt, acidic salt, and basic salt. Neutral salts are formed when strong acid and strong base combine. So strong base NaOH and strong acid HCl, they both are combining here to form NaCl and H2O. So NaCl here is an example of neutral salt. Acidic salt is formed when strong acid and weak base combine. Here is HCl and ammonium hydroxide. Ammonium hydroxide is weak base, and the salt formed is NH4Cl, ammonium chloride. This ammonium chloride is a acidic salt. Basic salts are formed when weak acid and strong base combine together. Weak acid here is acetic acid, and strong base is sodium hydroxide. So the salt which is formed here is sodium acetate. This is basic salt. Now we are moving further to different compounds and their preparation and uses. This is very important topic and many questions come from this topic. So be attentive in this video. First is common salt. Its formula is NaCl and the chemical name is sodium chloride. How it is prepared? It is prepared when NaOH and HCl combine to form NaCl and H2O. This is the first method which is prepared, through which it is prepared. Second one is from seawater by evaporation. We know that the common salt which we have in our kitchen, it is obtained from seawater through evaporation. But there is some other method also, from underground deposits. Large crystal of common salt found in underground deposit which is brown due to presence of impurities in it. It is mined from underground deposit like coal. So it is also obtained from underground deposit. What is the use of common salt? We know that it is used in our kitchen. It is used as preservative in pickles and curing meat and fish, to melt ice and clear roads in winter in cold countries. And here it is used in industries for making caustic soda, washing soda, and baking soda. Okay, so it is used as a raw material for making large number of useful chemicals in the industry. This was about the sodium chloride. Its preparation and uses it is covered. Next is caustic soda. Caustic soda, the common name is caustic soda. The chemical formula is NaOH and the chemical name is sodium hydroxide. Its preparation, it is prepared by passing electricity through concentrated solution of NaCl. See, the concentrated solution of NaCl is called brine. When NaCl is mixed with water, and electricity is passed through it, it produces NaOH, chlorine, and hydrogen. Okay, so this is the apparatus where NaOH is produced. So here saturated brine, that is the solution of NaCl. From here the saturated brine goes into the tank. Now two electrodes, that is anode and cathode, they are immersed into the tank having saturated brine solution. Both the electrodes, they are connected to the battery. Okay, now when the electricity will pass through the electrode, this saturated brine which is there in the tank, it will dissociate, because when electricity is passed through the brine solution, through the NaCl solution, it will dissociate and it will form NaOH, chlorine and hydrogen. Okay, so what is the location? See, you have to observe where the chlorine is produced. Chlorine is being produced at the anode. It is produced at the anode. Hydrogen is produced at the cathode, and NaOH is produced near the cathode. And the used brine, the brine which is being used, which is being depleted, that is removed from this pipe. Now NaOH is collected from here, chlorine is collected, nothing is getting wasted, chlorine is also collected and hydrogen is also collected, and all the three products are being used for the different work. Now this process is called chlor-alkali process. Why it is called chlor? Chlor is for chlorine, alkali is for NaOH. So chlorine is also produced and NaOH is also produced, therefore it is called chlor-alkali process. Now at the anode, which is a positive electrode, chlorine is produced. At cathode, hydrogen is produced and NaOH is produced near the cathode. It is called chlor-alkali process, and why it is called I have told you. Because the product formed are chlorine, which is for chloro, and NaOH for alkali. Now the uses of hydrogen, chlorine and NaOH. See, chlorine is collected and it is collected in a, you can say, in a cylinder, and hydrogen is also collected in a cylinder, and hydrogen is used as a fuel, and margarine, ammonia for fertilizer. It is used for ammonia for making fertilizers. Chlorine is used in water treatment, in swimming pools, PVC, disinfectants, CFCs and pesticides. Okay, now both hydrogen and chlorine, they are together used for making hydrochloric acid, HCl. NaOH, which is the main product of this whole reaction, it is used in degreasing metals, soaps and detergents. It is used in paper making industry and for artificial fibers. Chlorine and NaOH, they both are together used to produce bleach. Next compound is baking soda. Its chemical formula is NaHCO3. Its chemical name is sodium hydrogen carbonate. Now talking about the preparation, it's very simple. Baking soda is produced when ammonia and carbon dioxide is passed through the solution of NaCl. Okay, ammonia and carbon dioxide are passed through the solution of NaCl. So this reaction take place, and what is produced? Baking soda and ammonium chloride is produced. What is the property of baking soda? Property is that when it is heated, sodium carbonate, carbon dioxide and H2O is produced. And because of this, because carbon dioxide is produced, it is used in baking industries for baking cakes, idlis, etc. Baking soda, because now coming to the uses, because it is basic in nature, it is used as antacid. Antacid, what is antacid? It is a medicine to remove the acidity of the stomach. Second use is used in making baking powder. How baking powder is produced? It is produced by combination of baking soda and tartaric acid. The reaction is given here, baking soda and H plus ion. H plus आयन हमको कहाँ से मिलता है? वी गेट H+ आयन फ्रॉम acid. They both combine and Na plus sodium salt of acid is formed along with carbon dioxide and H2O. Third one is used in soda acid fire extinguisher. Next compound is washing soda. Washing soda has a chemical formula as Na2CO3.10H2O. It has 10 water molecule as water of crystallization. The chemical name is sodium carbonate. How it is prepared? It is prepared by the combination of NaCl, ammonia and carbon dioxide. So ammonia and carbon dioxide are passed through the solution of NaCl and sodium hydrogen carbonate and ammonium chloride are formed. Now this NaHCO3, it is heated and carbon dioxide and H2O is produced along with sodium carbonate. Now this sodium carbonate combines with 10 water molecule to form Na2CO3.10H2O. Very simple. These three simple steps. What is happening? Ammonia and carbon dioxide are combining in the NaCl, okay, and NaHCO3 plus ammonium chloride is formed. When this NaHCO3 is heated, it forms sodium carbonate, carbon dioxide and water. This sodium carbonate combines with 10 water molecule and forms washing soda. Very simple. Where it is used? It is used in glass, soap and paper industries. It is used in manufacturing of sodium compounds such as borax. It is used as cleaning agent for domestic purpose. We all know that washing soda is used in our homes also for washing clothes, washing utensils, etc. Washing soda also removes permanent hardness of water. So these are the uses of washing soda. Moving further, we have bleaching powder. Bleaching powder has a chemical formula CaOCl2 and its chemical name is calcium oxychloride. How it is prepared? It is prepared by combination of calcium hydroxide with chlorine. So when the chlorine gas is passed through solution of calcium hydroxide, bleaching powder is produced. CaOCl2 is produced along with the water. Property: when bleaching powder combines with H2SO4, it gives calcium sulfate, chlorine and water. This chlorine, which is produced by the action of dilute acid, acts as a bleaching agent. Okay, what is the use of this bleaching powder? The first use is for bleaching cotton and linen in textile industries, for bleaching wood pulp in paper factories, and for bleaching washed clothes in laundry. You must have heard about the bleaching powder, okay? So that we have heard that bleaching powder is used in the laundry, okay? Apart from that, it is also used in textile industries and paper factories. Bleaching powder is an oxidizing agent in chemical industries. Also, it is used as a disinfectant in drinking water. Now, here is plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris is calcium sulfate hemihydrate and its chemical formula is CaSO4.12H2O. Now, how it is prepared? It is prepared by heating gypsum. Gypsum is CaSO4.2H2O. Okay, when this gypsum is heated to 100 degrees Celsius, calcium sulfate .12H2O, CaSO4.12H2O is formed and rest of the water molecules are released. What is the property? It has a remarkable property of setting into hard mass on wetting with water as gypsum is formed. So this plaster of Paris, have you ever heard where the plaster of Paris is used? It is used for setting the fractures by the doctors. Okay, So you must have seen that it is a hard mass. We cannot bend it. It is very hard. So that is the plaster of Paris, which is formed after the wetting. The some water is mixed in the plaster of Paris, and that hard mass is gypsum. Now uses. Before uses, this is a reaction when POP, plaster of Paris, combines with water, it forms gypsum, and this gypsum sets into the hard mass. Uses, it is used in hospital for setting fractured bones. It is used in making toys, decorative material, cheap ornament, and cast of statues. Used as fire-proofing material. It is used in chemistry lab for setting air gaps in apparatus, making smooth surfaces, such as for making ornament designs on the ceilings of houses and other buildings. So this is the use of plaster of Paris. So here all the substances, all the chemical compounds, they are covered, and I have explained you in a very simple manner, and along with the preparation, properties and uses, everything is covered. So moving on, and stay tuned with me and keep learning, keep growing. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. You can also follow the Learnish page on Instagram. Link I will give in the description box. Thank you.